Hello, what's up, guys? Welcome to another home theater hangout with myself and Mr. Digital. Don. What's up, Don?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. I don't know who was here in the chat yet, but
hmm
all right. So what's going on, Don? You haven't been here in like a month. Why have you not been here for a month?
I've been very busy. Shit, hold on. Sorry.
Are you reading the
Screwed up.
chat? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I messed up. No, I got sick. Went to the hospital. Everything's okay.
Hmm.
I'm good. Super healthy. Healthier now than I've been in quite a long time. But I need to. And I've been busy at work. So glad to be back. Been listening though every day.
Nice. Did you
Like
catch our
reading.
stream yesterday
Mhm.
with RBH?
Mhm. Yes, sir.
Have you heard any of those new Impression Series RBH speakers?
I have not. Those are brand new. Haven't had a chance to hear them yet, but I know and trust all the guys at RBH, and they're telling me like, wow, they sound actually too good for how much they cost.
Hmm.
They're like, well, we might need to dumb that down a little bit. Nah, they're super proud of them, and the sound technology inside of it, very well built. Shane Rich, I think's a genius. You know what I mean? He may not be the smoothest operator on camera, but the guy is just a music and
Smooth
it's all he
operator.
consumes it. So I mean, he comes and hangs out here after we eat because he likes his. He's a foodie. Um, I mean, all we do is measure, calibrate, watch demo material, talk about audio. Um, it drives me crazy. Like I just don't understand why that brand is not bigger in America. Because every time I expose somebody to speakers from that brand,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh my god, dude, that sounds amazing!" Like
I.
it's and I love I love we had this conversation earlier. I love so many
Yep.
speakers, Focal, Paradigm, uh, even some of the Polk stuff sounds great. I think sounds great per listen. Um, I
Well,
mean,
I was
I don't want to
saying.
leave anybody out. There's a ton of good ones, but RBH manages to strike a balance of for what I like. I like a really dynamic sound. Some things like like a Revel or a Per Listener, just a really dynamic speaker. Um,
you,
but
you
it's
just
not
said per
hard.
listen.
It's
You just
not
said per listen's very dynamic. In my video that I just shot, I said kind of the opposite.
what Per Listen.
Oh, because it's a neutral speaker, like a super neutral.
No, it's dynamic. It's nothing to do with being neutral. It's a tone of the speaker. It's dynamic. Doesn't have compression on it. RBH speakers all really have that from top to bottom, especially in some of the larger stuff. They've used the same kind of drivers for many, many years and have constantly evolved to perfect their drivers. They were one of the first companies to really jump both feet in on the air motion tweeters. Tested what I was told was close to 100 different ones, and before they chose the ones that they use and had them built bespoke for them. They may not have, even though they've got new products to make their speakers look a lot cooler, side panels and whatnot, but as a just a box speaker, super well made, industrial. I mean, they may not be the sexiest looking speakers until they put the new stuff on them, but they're just high performance speakers. And I think you're going to really dig that system you got.
Yeah.
They don't pay me. They don't send me a million free
What?
speakers.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Speaking of, let me just address that really quick. I know we were talking about this earlier. So, guys, I put up the speaker review for the RBHs, which is going to be my inaugural speakers for the new home theater build. I mean, if you're following us on Patreon, such as Mr. Bob James is following me on Patreon, I have been putting updates for the new home theater build on there. So, if you want to check that out, that's patreon.com/Shane Lee, which is in my name right there under my name. Um, but Don,
hmm?
Don, you know that this is pretty much my full time job. This is all I do all day. I do these live streams with you guys, with Gene, with Dream Media. I do speaker reviews, movie reviews. It's been a little slow lately because I just moved into the house. So I'm still kind of getting settled in. But when I put up that RBH review, people got so upset that I was moving away from the Ascendo speakers to the RBHs. Which, guys, previously I had M&Ks, I've had
BMW.
Procellas, I've had
Mhm.
Bowers and Wilkins, I've had Rendals, I've had Dollies, I've
Martin
had
Logan.
Kefs, Martin Logan twice,
Mhm.
Perlison twice, Sonus Faber. Now I'm going Ascendo, and now I'm going over to RBH. So I got a lot of hate because they're like, why are you going to RBH? RBH. I mean, why are you going to RBH and leaving Ascendo because it's a subpar brand? Blah 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 blah. You getting it for free? Blah 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 blah. I was
That,
like,
I
what?
mean,
I was like,
that's
what?
ignorant. That's just ignorant, Shane.
I was like, what are you talking
Um,
about? This is my job, man. I was like, do you guys think I've gotten the other half dozen speaker systems for free? I'm like, dude, this is. I was like, RBH isn't going to be my last speaker system I'm going to have in the home theater. This is
well,
the
you
kickoff
you
speaker, you
built it
know?
in such a way that you could change everything out.
Yeah.
Everything's on a bracket or hung on a beam
Yep.
that can be taken off and replaced with a different speaker if you're going to test a different system.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's a
I,
functional.
a company like RBH isn't a marketing powerhouse, obviously. So through like Audioholics and their chain of network of dealers across the country, and you Shane and different influencers, they're trying to get their product out so that an influencer or somebody that hears a ton more stuff. Let's just call a spade. Unless some guy lives in a town and flies here and there and drives and listen, what I mean, drives hundreds of miles to go demo stuff. Most people don't get to hear and demo this amount of speakers we do. So that
XTZ.
you get
Yep.
to form some opinions based on hearing a bunch of different stuff. Um, I even, when I review things or I try to listen to them in different rooms in my house, I have different systems, just like you do. In this room it did this, in this room it did that. You're building a theater, which is your bread and butter, which you do movie reviews and equipment reviews. And you did it in such a way that you can change it out in RBH once you get their product there. Um, you think any magazine you've ever read or reviewer
Yeah.
buys the speakers initially from a manufacturer review? They get them for an extended period of time, whatever it might be, relevant to the product, and they get them back. Sometimes influencers like them so much they want to own them, and they get good prices here and there. But I mean, nobody rides for free, man. And
Yeah.
this is what you
Yeah.
do. So you wouldn't have much of a YouTube channel if you never got different speakers in, and you only
Yep.
had three different speakers over the course of a year. Who the hell wants to watch that?
Yep.
Yeah. Here's my this and that part two. Listen, the Ascendos are amazing. I love
Yep.
Jeff and the whole team. I love the Ascendos. The RBHs are also great. They're just a different technologies.
And for all the little complainers about I lowered my mic and I raised up Don's. So let me know if the volume is okay.
Is mine low?
Well, I
That's
boosted
unusual.
yours to raise mine up, so I'm not sure if that does
I've
anything.
got a good connection. So,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
got
I
yours too.
just going back to RBH, I really don't understand why more people haven't sought them out or because everybody that I've sold them to or talked into or brought over to my house to listen to them are like, wow, holy cow. I mean, they're really, really good from top to bottom, especially
Yeah.
when you get into the big stuff like the SVTRs like I have in the big theater. They're powered monitors that I'm listening to you now through. I mean, they're just killer speakers. I mean, and there's a ton of killer speakers.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
It's,
you know, I'm not saying they're way better than every other brand. There's not at all. But I'm saying pound for pound, they're pretty hard to beat on what you get from sonic quality. They play loud, they play clean, they're very wide dispersion, a
yeah.
lot of depth to them. They're you know people say they're like a neutral speaker. I would say just a slight hair forward of neutral, but not as much as
Yeah.
say a Focal or a Dolly or some of those other brands that tend to be a little bit more forward, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, depending on your taste.
Let me uh, let me read you one of the main comments here from the last video. Let me just say, I still enjoy your channel for the entertainment and to see the latest and greatest products. Simple to get access to free products, which is perfectly fine if that's your goal. My goal is to get free products. Apparently, if you want to keep receiving free products, you give overly positive reviews. Simple as that. The PSA review is an example of no partnership and a downright hateful review. Hard to argue with all the examples still on there on the channel. I was like, oh my god, dude!
Yeah, dude.
Like,
So,
I get free everything I review is free. Apparently,
so
that's what it comes down to.
let's just say this: we don't necessarily review a bunch of entry level stuff. I mean, you do sometimes, whatever. But listen, once you reach that diminishing return line, whether it's a B&W or a Priscilla, Ascendo, Martin Logan, the
Yeah,
RBHs, the Focals, I mean,
yeah,
they're all gonna sound good, dude. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like it's a lot of speakers. It's you know, I mean, listen, if you're just like Aaron, just really a spec guy, that has a lot of influence on it. And I think we all think specs are very important, but
Yep.
um, somebody might like the sound of a speaker. You might like the sound of one better than a different one. But you try to be fair. I think you try to point out the attributes of a product or the downside
But
if you think there's one.
but let's address reviewers just getting free products. Apparently, this gentleman thinks that all the bigger reviewers get free products, which is false. Big reviewers, no matter if you're big, medium size, small. I mean, even small guys nowadays are getting free product, or sorry, products to review, not free products. I mean, that's not the end game is to
Or
get
a
free
reviewer
product.
wants to get the product and just loves it and wants to keep it, which happens from time to time. You get something exceptional,
I
and they
mean,
could
I got the
sell
per listens.
advertising or trade out videos
Yeah,
or a way to earn it. Like just
yeah.
because you're sitting and talking to a camera doesn't mean it's not effort put on your part. And especially with the internet, looking for if you got a nose hair or you say the wrong thing or you say anything disrespectful to a product that they love, um, you know, it's tough gig, tough racket.
Yeah,
And
guys.
then you see guys like Michael, Youth Man, who's just an icon, dude. I love that guy. Who doesn't love that guy? He's exactly what he is, and he's that guy on camera and in person. He would give you the shirt off his back. Always has encouraging words. Always tries to be uplifting.
Can
Helps
I?
everybody out. Helps everybody.
And can
He is a absolute solid gold gem in the audio community, in the home theater community.
he's a
You know,
saint. He's a
what?
saint. Dorothy
Guy
Mantooth is a
is. He
saint.
is. He's a dork like the rest of us. I mean, but he's cool, man. He doesn't judge. I mean, shit. He's
You
friends
know,
with me, and that takes some effort.
I was. I got to tell you, when I first started, I did nothing but high end stuff from the get go. I did nothing but high end stuff, and I got so much hate for
And
it because
everybody
I
complained. Yeah, they
everybody
say it's
complains.
a gene,
But
all the time.
why can't you do all entry level stuff? But I'm gonna. But if all these people that were complaining notice that their favorite YouTubers that are now just as big, if not bigger than me, they all have pretty much the same gear as I do now. Pretty much like all the highest end gear that you could
Yeah.
get. Everybody has now gone. Most of the bigger YouTuber home theater YouTubers, they've all got Kaleidoscape. They've all got Mad VR. They've got Trinovs or Storms. They've all got Stewart screens. No more Elite screens. They've all got the best
With the
stuff.
seating, they all got
They've all got Valencias. I mean, I think I might have a leg up on that area. I've got some salamanders. Those are a different class.
Oh, you got salamander? Oh yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
That's like comparing a, you know, uh, top of the line Mercedes, German made one,
Yeah.
to low end Hyundai or something. Sorry if you
But
got a Hyundai.
but dude, I mean, listen. Even from the start, I wasn't getting all that expensive stuff for free. Of course not. I mean, just like Don said, we get some really awesome stuff in the review, and if we decide we want it, we have to pay
So
for it.
when speaker companies, the bigger speaker companies, all have marketing departments, and when they make a certain amount of product for review. I mean, how in the hell else are you going to sell a product unless you get it
Yeah,
out there? Companies like Audio Advice and Dream Media do a great job of just putting it out there and just making some
and
incredible videos.
let's throw this out there really quick too. Audio Advice, Dream Media, West Coast Stereo, whatever it is. Those guys, they don't do reviews. They can't do reviews. It's not, even if they put review in the title,
Well, they
it's
it,
not,
but you
they
know what you're
can't,
getting into. They're
yeah,
trying to sell you a product,
they're trying to say
but
product.
but that being said, I know Audio Advice and I know Dream Media. I know Dream Media guys real well, and the guys I
Well,
love all the
obviously, yeah.
guys I met at Audio Advice. They spend a lot of effort picking the right products. So it's I
Yeah.
mean they're trying to sell you something, and when they're on there doing their incredible videos, that's true enthusiasm. Like they dig it. I mean,
Well, that's
they do.
enthusiasm, of course. Of
But
course.
they're trying to sell you a product.
Yeah.
Somebody like
100%.
you or Gene or Aaron or whoever, I'm on people out there, man. I'm sorry. Um,
I think,
Typhonics Audio. No, they're just trying to love and listen to systems and be critical of them and give some. You know how hard it is to write a written review of a speaker. It sounds. I mean, I've read 10,000 reviews over the year and known a bunch of reviewers and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna blow this out. I'm like, wow, okay. There's a lot to cover and because you don't want to be too long-winded. Like Beethoven's Effervescent Orchestra 3 in G minor had profound sound. Dude, the thing rocks. It's got a great sound stage, depth. There's so many terms in it, but it's not an easy thing. And people think doing all this is easy. I mean, I'm not digging
yeah.
ditches, but you know, we put a lot of effort in this because it's all audio all the time. What do we talk about when I call you, Shane? Almost 80% of what we talk about, audio and speakers and
Yep.
amplifiers and room acoustics. I mean, and we all do. All the guys, audioholics, are my dear friends, like family. We're all like family, and we're
And
always talking about that.
it's like,
And Star Wars.
when I started YouTube, I wanted to do the high end stuff because that's when I started. I was working at Best Buy. My goal was, I tell you what, I started working at Best Buy because I wanted to get the Best Buy discount because the discount was something like 50-70% off. So it was really good. And getting those discounts made me be able to start YouTube because I could do
Yeah.
some pretty high end stuff that I was actually I was buying, and then I would sell it on
Dude, and so
eBay.
what? If we get deals on audio, dude, like we're reviewing their stuff, and
Yeah.
what greater compliment is there than somebody who has a little bit of everything to want to keep the products that like for their own use so they can enjoy them. They really like them that much.
I bought
That's
listen,
cool.
I bought the Perlison R5Ts.
Mhm.
Did I get a discount on them? Yeah, I got a reviewer
Of course,
discount on them,
of
but I
course.
also helped them promote that stuff.
If
I
if
mean, making
somebody
the
would be
video.
angry at any of us for getting discounts on
Yeah.
audio, then that's just a stupid reason. I mean, it really is.
I wish I knew the
Then you're
video.
just a hater, dude.
I wish I
Go
knew the
go start
video.
your own YouTube channel. Reach out.
There, somebody left a comment last week that said if I was making videos,
What
he
up,
said,
Mark?
I wouldn't accept discounts. I would feel better about myself if I paid full price for it for making these videos. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? There's like nobody out there that's in this hobby would turn
Well,
down a
full
discount.
price to a retailer or full price
Yeah, to a
cost
retailer.
from the company? Yeah, well,
No,
good
to
for
a
you.
retailer.
He's got lots of money then, because
Yeah.
I know brothers is broke around where I live.
Hmm.
I and listen, man, you get spoiled. We get spoiled because we listen to. I mean, we got killer, but
Listen,
like,
I mean, if you guys are on Patreon, these guys know I'm literally doing everything myself except laying the carpet.
yeah, I'm
I'm
proud of
building
you.
panels myself. I'm doing the fabrication myself. I built risers myself, drywall myself. I'm doing everything myself. You know why, guys? Because I am just as cheap in DIY as you guys are. Most of you guys are that complain to me all about, Shane, you get everything for free. No, I don't get everything for free. I'm actually pretty fucking cheap. Um, I'm very cheap. Uh,
Do the car reviewers get free cars?
I know, like, dude.
Like, yeah, just keep that Bronco.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like
I
that
mean,
Benz? Just roll with
Jesus
it.
Christ, dude.
We got
It's
plenty. We
it's
got more.
nuts. I mean, my Patreon guys, you guys know what I'm all about. I'm one of the cheapest guys out there. Is
So
all my handiwork pretty good? It's okay. My handiwork is pretty okay. When I shoot my videos, I usually shoot them in dim light. Look,
your
I'm in dim
panel's got
light right now.
your panel's got a few creases here and there. You're a little off center. I was looking at the pictures. My OCD's like, no, man,
Uh,
I gotta tell him he's got like,
I got one of those laser level things that
yeah,
shoots
but you didn't. You
lasers
got one
everywhere.
like that, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
No, 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 no.
yeah,
Oh,
you get some more like,
they're all 90-degree angles. Some of them
bro, I
might be
had
a
to
little.
take an extra Adderall because I was gonna have a, but go in the squirrel hole, seeing that. But no,
Um,
it's gonna be a really killer room. I mean, and proper size room. I mean, 14 by 25. You know, it's deep. You know, and you're gonna put what, four sides surrounds, three back surrounds.
hold on. Before we move
Sorry.
on to that,
Oh,
let's wrap it up,
okay, okay.
guys. Guys, none of us get free shit. Okay.
Need some Adderall.
Uh, is
Oh,
RB
headphones or something here and there.
Don is RBH going to give me 18 plus speakers for free? Who gives anybody 18
In a
speakers for
21,
free
in a
and a
21 inch
21 inch
sub.
sub
Oh, I
with dual
mean,
12s?
if you boosted sales and they had a banner, you know, quarter, yeah, dude, it's so what? We get audio, we get it, we have it for a while. Sometimes it's quick,
Yeah,
more often than not, because it takes a while to really listen and get to know a product. And you
I'll tell
know,
you what.
you're doing other things. You're just not sitting there. At least I'm not. I got a day job, but you might. I mean, just listening all day long and writing down notes and trying different types of music and trying different amplifiers. Because I'm telling you, man, you know what I'm saying. Everybody thinks amps don't matter, but there's, you know, when I play something on this integrated name that I've been demoing for quite a while, and then it's an integrated amp, the Unity Star. Then I switch over to the Cambridge Audio Evo 150 that I have, and through really good cables, which that's a whole nother can of worms, but nothing crazy. You know, I'm more of a reasonable, but I think good cables are cool to a point. Um, and they both sound a little bit different. They're both killer. They both sound great. And listening to them on, you know, high end dollies and listen to them on focals, listening to, you know, they just sound different. So
Yes, guys. All reviewers on YouTube, they don't get free stuff. Okay, let's just clarify that. At least I shot a review for the RBHs that I got in shipped for free to my house. I don't have to pay for shipping.
right.
Uh, so I shot the review for that today, right before we came on.
Hmm.
I did a little. I addressed it a little bit just because it bothers me. Man, I've been hearing this shit for like fucking 6 years now. It gets annoying after a while. I mean, you would think after 6 years of watching me that I don't keep everything. Where would I put this spot? I don't have $1 million home where I
You
could have a
had
warehouse, a product.
you had boxes of shit
Dude,
over here.
you should see the house now. It's
I'm
it's
like,
getting, they're
in this
getting.
week's episode of Audio Hoarders, Shane Lee. It
I
all
dude,
started.
I'm getting boxes again right now. So the kitchen is full. The living
I
room
can't
is
even
starting to
get you
get
to
full.
send me a subwoofer.
Wait, do you see my basement is
Stingy,
full?
stingy Asian.
Also, we're getting back up there. But guys,
Yeah,
we don't get
they
stuff for free. Nobody gets stuff for
no.
free.
People make
Um,
money from advertising for doing
yeah,
videos. You know, sponsored videos. I know Gene's very honest about that.
yeah.
And he has a website and does banners and marketing, and that's how he, you know, companies sell a lot of gear. There's links to affiliate links from Audio Vice and Dream Media, you know, that help support the channels.
Oh
And that's
yeah.
how they make a living. I mean, Gene's
Uh,
not rich.
let's talk about that. This dude was like, "Hey, these partnerships with Dream Media you lose credibility when you
No, you
partner up."
don't. No. How do you lose credibility when you find a company that you vet and you get to know? You know, they just don't call you and the next day you're promoting them, and you make a decision to have a
Yeah,
partnership. And you know, the dudes at Dream Media are super cool, dude. I mean, they're
they're a hard working. Listen, everybody's a hard.
Zach is that guy. You know, he's always Zach. He's always on point. But man, he's got beautiful family, beautiful business, great house in the mountains of Colorado, dude. Kellen's like my boy. You know, I broke bread with him, hung out with him. Been to Zach's house. Yeah, why not do business with those guys? They're credible, man. They do good stuff. They take care of their clients. You know, so yeah, you partnership with them. What company do any of you work for that doesn't have any kind of marketing in some capacity or public
Yeah,
relations? When you make
and
a product, you have to, you know, a consumer product, marketing is a big part of your company. So companies have a certain amount of money and product and various things to travel, to go to audio shows, for magazine ads, tons of ads online. And the easiest, most direct way to get to consumers that they want to sell their product to is through legitimate influencers. And Shane is a very legitimate influencer and does a great job, great videography. I mean, he was one of the better guys early on. Now there's some other guys doing great stuff, and he's helped out, other people out there. I
So
love the dude, you know?
So
I
this
mean,
guy, this guy, his name is Bruce Carter. He says, free to review, free to keep, doesn't matter. Positive reviews lead to more free products from your current partnership, which also leads to other new partnerships. No company in their right mind would send you free products to review if there was a risk of a negative review. It's not really that complicated. Unfortunately, that is the game. I don't fault you for it. Dude, that don't even make sense. No
all
company
right,
would send you no company would send you products to review if you're going to give them a negative review. So it's like he's saying, okay, we're coming to an agreement that I'm going to give you a positive review if you send me the product to review. In turn, what would I get out of the review for you lending me the product? Like, would that even benefit me?
you know, have you never seen a negative review? But the one thing you put a little negativity on that subwoofer, and the whole world loses its mind. And maybe
I
that's
mean,
just the
listen,
experience you had, dude. I mean, I think you even said, "Hey, dude, if you got
I
it and it rocks." I know there's a lot
did
of
I
people
did
who
I
are
reach
that.
out? I reached out to the PSA guys, to the owner. He said no. But everybody's getting these 21-inch, 24-inch, 32-inch, 50-inch subwoofers. Listen, I didn't want to be left out. I wanted a 21-inch subwoofer. I wanted to be part of the crew. So I paid for it. I bought it. And you know what? It didn't live up to my hype, to my expectations, and literally that is like one of the biggest forums in the subwoofer in AVS forums. It's like one of the biggest threads in AVS forums is that power sound audio. I was like, if it's that popular, the chances of me getting a bogus subwoofer for
Yeah,
$2,200 probably pretty low. I got it in. It's
you
compared to
bought it,
other
didn't you? You
compared to other
bought it.
subwoofers, I paid. Yeah, I still have it. It's in the box in my kitchen.
Mhm.
If anybody wants it, you hit me up. I will. I'll ship. If anybody wants it and you want to buy it, and you pay for shipping, you got to buy it from me and
Oh,
pay for
sure.
shipping.
We don't pay for equipment, so
Yeah, I will ship it to you. I'll give you a good deal on it, but you got to buy it though. I still have it. But after I do the comparison with the RBH 21, and if the RBH 21 bottoms out and makes some flutter noises and sounds like crap like that, I'm going to show it in the video too. I'm not expecting it to because I know their build quality is exceptional. Whereas the PSA sub, when I took it out of the box, it's a vinyl wrapped sub. People don't put value on build quality apparently, but it's pretty hollow sounding subwoofer. It's vinyl wrapped. You nick it with your nail or something like that. You ain't getting that out of there. I hate vinyl wrapped shit. It's bad, and that's what a PSA sub is. And it's good for those guys that can't afford 10 grand for an RBH sub or a JTR or a per listen. Fine, that's great. You get what you pay for. I got what I paid for. I don't even think I got what I paid for. I paid over 2 grand for it, and I still
I
got it.
mean, there's some amazing drivers that the DIYers can get, and there's probably some really good designs on cabinetry that have been vetted out and pre-designed that you can get, hopefully sealed. That's my preference personally. But and you know, there's some people that have wood shops and the capability to and brace and reinforce cabinets and mount plate amps or use outboard
Yep.
amplifiers, and they probably sound really, really good. But then there's companies like that I can talk a little bit
Dude,
about
does
because
it
I've seen their design process.
listen? Do you
Um,
think the PSA is not a brand that lends out review samples? Am I correct on that? How many PSA reviews do you see?
I'm no, I don't think they do. I've never really
Where
seen a review
what
of
is
it
that?
other
Listen,
than people on Facebook groups and online.
all the companies that are really confident in their products, they lend out their stuff to reviewers because chances are it's probably pretty good product and they probably will get a good review. Every brand that has confidence in their product does it. Whereas this brand wouldn't send me anything. I bought it because I knew that it was going to be good because it's such a popular brand, and it didn't live up to my expectations. And it's not like I make a ton of money where I'm like, I'm going to just drop $2,200 so I can shit out a product. Who spends $2,200 on a product just to crap on it and then have it sit in their kitchen? That's a bad financial investment for me.
What did was it powered? Did it have a plate in it?
Yes, as a
Yeah, it did.
yeah, it's just a regular yeah.
I mean, wasn't all bad, right?
If you don't want to crank it, it's okay. If you but once you want to reach like spirited levels, then yeah, it's gonna make some noises.
Really? No. Maybe you got a dud, dude. I mean,
So I couldn't listen. I could have gotten a dud, but you know what? If they would have sent it to me and said, "Hey man, how's it working out?" I would have been like, "Yo, this thing is making some noises. Maybe something's going wrong with it. Do you want me to make this? Do you want me to post this review or not? Or do you want to send me a replacement?" I would have gave them that courtesy, but I bought it myself. I don't owe you a courtesy to get with you. So I didn't reach them or I didn't reach out to them. But like, hey man, I bought the sub. I'm gonna post a review on it. Do you want to address this? I don't owe you that courtesy if I'm coming out of pocket. You didn't do me any favors. I'm not doing you any favors. I bought it. I'm gonna tell you what it is. If he wouldn't lent me the subwoofer, and I had the same issues, I would have said, "Listen, PSA guy, I don't know what I think his name is Tom or something like that. Hey, I got some issues with this. Do you want to rectify it? Is there something I could do? Otherwise, I'm just not going to post a review."
right.
That's how it would work. If he was like, you know what, just post it anyways, which a lot of brands do. Sometimes brands would be like, hey, if you don't like it, you don't like it, just say it, and that's cool.
Yeah, man. So if
But
you
we
like
we,
something,
we
if you like, you buy something and you love it,
we don't work out
that's awesome.
deals. We don't work out deals with manufacturers for positive reviews. So that comment on that video for RBH, such a BS comment. Like
Yeah.
at least all the reviewers I know, they don't do
Dude,
deals.
dude,
Like maybe
dude.
there's other
Thick
reviewers that
skin,
do it. I don't do it.
water under the bridge, dude. You know, I people buy products and that they love them. A lot of people have never really heard them. They've read reviews and went on forums and talked to people because there's not a lot of places in cities that you can go hear these kind of products. You know, maybe an
Mhm.
Ascendo or a Per Listen or some of the the more popular large scale subwoofers. And I've heard them, and I think those two brands are
They're
amazing.
not even large. I would say
But
they're not even large scale. I would say they're on the same par as PSA. But you know what? They had confidence in their product. They said, well, Ascendo doesn't really send out a lot of products to reviewers. I got lucky on
I
that
didn't know
one.
PSA had. You can Ascendo and Per Listen are bought from retailers or integrators. I didn't know PSA was something that was sold by retailers. I thought it was a
I
direct to consumer. I just don't know that much about them. I mean,
They're
I
not
don't
sold
think
by
I've
they're
ever
not
heard
sold
of
at
them.
retail. Yeah, they're direct to consumers like SBS used to be
Yeah.
back in the day.
Well, and listen, so is JTR, RTJ, and
Yeah.
I can tell you, going back to the build it yourself, looking at the cabinet work and the type of wood that Jeff uses at JTR and the
Yep.
just absolute beast mode quality of the driver and in his other speakers the crossover qualities just I mean it's crazy and quote unquote I've got four of Jeff's RTJ subs in my main system and they're as good as anything I've ever heard. And, like they amaze me. For 2 years I've had them, and they amaze me every time that I play them. And I was around when Shane Rich at RBH did the whole design process because the 21-inch sub was born in a project that we did with RBH, a giant theater that we can't really talk about till later this year. And we needed it's a massive room and 13,500 cubic feet and we needed a lot of subs and RBH built they said hey because we were at one point going to use JTRs and just rebrand it or whatever. And Shane just challenge accepted. We threw the gauntlet down, and this guy went out and he ordered tons of different drivers and different cabinets and materials and until he settled. And that's an amazing, ridiculous, retarded in a sealed version. He built two ported ones for us because we want a max SPL, but the sealed ones are just take your breath away good, but they're expensive. PSA.
Well, these are
I've never
smaller.
heard them, so I cannot say anything other than what you told me and what I saw in your video. I know as much as,
Apparently,
but a lot
people
of people love them.
people seem to love them on the forums. Maybe listen, maybe I got a lemon. Who knows? Maybe I got a lemon. Listen, if the owner wanted to rectify the situation, he could have emailed me instead of making false accusations, saying I asked for free gear, which is 100%. I've never asked for free gear because that's like an
That
asshole thing to do.
when you
Yeah,
go online, you do your research, you invest your time and your mind, and you're led in different directions until you decide on a product you're going to spend your hard-earned money on because this guy and blah blah blah, and you buy it and you get it and you love it and it just blows your mind because you had some clipses before, you had like Bose or a sound bar, and you love it. That's pure and awesome. But what more often than not is people that love it, when anybody says anything negative about it, even though they have not compared or heard a bunch of other systems that are talked about, because I know that's 85% of people out there,
let me.
unless they go to audio shows and drive far to listen if they can find it, they fiercely defend it. I mean,
Yeah,
even no matter what you say or do, oh, you're getting free stuff. You're paid to do this. Oh, this is
yeah,
the best sub on the planet. You're an idiot. They're
yeah,
going to be, and that's just human nature, dude. And
yeah.
that's any, whatever,
But
if you were
dude,
on
when
cars,
you get the owner saying he asked me for free gear, 100% false. I've never ever asked for free gear. Why would I do that? I mean, I would
because,
review it. I would
well,
review it for free,
free,
and then
well,
send it back to you.
no, listen, what's free gear? Like,
Like
if
I want,
somebody wants you to
listen. I
review their
want it.
product,
Yeah,
they send it to you and you review it because they know
yeah,
you, they trust you, they know you're not going to go sell it out of a van or disappear to Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
hmm
then you send it back, and that's the
you
pain
send
in
it
the
back.
ass of
Yeah,
reboxing these
but
things.
when you get an owner saying, "Oh man, he asked me for he wanted it for free, but I didn't give it to him for free, and then now he gave me a bad review." Get out of here!
I
Dude, why
don't,
would I spend
I
two
don't know.
thousand?
I don't know.
I think the moral of the story is we don't get with manufacturers
What would
to
that
offer
serve
them
you
free
as?
reviews.
Would that? I mean, that really insinuates that you're just petty.
Yeah,
Meaning, I mean, you're a little petty. Yeah. But you're
um,
not. You're not like destructively petty. To put your reputation, your word out there. I mean, that's just that's kind of a shitty statement. I don't know the guy. He's probably cool. Maybe not. I don't know.
apparently
I
not.
can't form an opinion on it, but I think you're saying you didn't. He's saying you did. If he just
Yeah,
said that and you didn't, that's a pretty shitty thing to say.
that's very petty, shitty thing to say. If
I
he like I
mean,
say, if he was so concerned about it, he could have reached out to me.
if Focal wants you to review a new product, is when he call you and go, "Hey man, I can sell it to you at cost. Hope you like it." I mean, they send you, or whoever. You know what I mean? ELAC. You still got those ELACs?
I do feel bad. I gotta review those things.
Dude, those, dude,
I gotta review. I gotta
dude,
review them.
those little towers are
Yeah,
amazing, dude. Like
I need to hop on it.
amazing.
I need to hop on it.
You know what? You know what sounds good, dude? Is you should see if you can get a pair of the Focal Thevias. They're entry level
Yeah, yeah.
little
See,
towers, dude.
guys, this is how
They
it works.
sound so good, dude.
This is how it works. Don will say something to me, or maybe somebody else, or maybe a subscriber will mention a brand to me. Hey
Cambridge
man,
audio.
can you check out these speakers? And if you mention a name and I look at it, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. You know what? I will email them and say, hey man, I got a YouTube channel. I've got X amount of subscribers and views I get. I'm interested in reviewing your speakers. Do you think you can send me a pair of speakers to review? I'd love to check it out, and I'll send it back to you in a month or two. And that's how it works. It's not, hey, I will give you a review if you give me free product. and it'll be positive if it's for free. That's not how it works.
Well, and
That's not how it works.
sometimes they'll send you products and long-term loan, like you're doing with RVH. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, Focal sent me the Sopras for like almost a year. I probably would still have them if I didn't say, "Hey man, do you want these back?" But yeah, obviously they wanted them back.
yeah, they'll always want them back. They'll call you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to send back that name. I just got a tag for it, but it's a beautiful piece, man. I'm sold on that brand, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, more two
Just
channel. But yeah, absolutely, man. It's
listen,
and it,
partnerships, every
sad to
product
see
that
stuff go sometimes, you know. I know you
every
love those
product.
cookouts.
Oh, I love the Sopras. I wish I could buy
Yeah.
them, but I can't afford them. The listen, partnerships are with every brand that you see on any one of these YouTube channels. If you don't have a partnership with a brand, that's just a friendly partnership. It's a trustworthy partnership because if they're going to send you $16,000 speakers, you got a partnership. I mean, you don't want
Yeah.
them to sue you to keep their products. I mean, nobody wants that to happen. That's a partnership. With Dream Media, we got a partnership with Dream Media. It's they
No, you just get them for free.
yeah, it's
Say
more of a
only good things about even the really bad speakers. I
do
mean,
you,
you haven't reviewed a really bad pair of speakers. I mean, you were critical. I thought you were, a little
I think
critical when you got the Cantas in,
I
the
think the people
Focals, but that's not the experience I get from them. But
but
you
I never
listen
said
to them.
I never said they were bad sounding. We just said they were
No,
bright.
you just said they were overly bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
but they're a little
that's not
overbright.
negative. Yeah.
No, it's not. But it was your honest opinion, and you do a lot of business with Focal. I mean, you
Yeah.
100%. But I think Focals are big boys and girls, and if they have a product that has Andrew Robinson does it. I mean, um,
BTW, by the way, Focal doesn't pay me either. A lot of the stuff that I do in YouTube is because I am an enthusiast. I'm a fan, and if I have the chance to listen to a pair of $20,000, or if I can listen to an $18,000 center channel from Focal, I'm doing it. I'll do it for free
oh yeah,
just to have the
well,
opportunity to
yeah.
do it.
Teo at Audioholics just sent back a whole Utopia set,
Yeah,
and
Utopias. Yep.
I mean, look, and we're like I said, we're all, and Teo's like the
It's
greatest dude ever. Like,
listen,
I,
we're
I adore this
fans,
guy,
man.
but he would call me at night. He goes, dude,
Yeah.
anyways, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, these speakers are so good. And he was telling me like,
Yeah.
and he's got
Yeah.
Revel salons, the big ones. I think that's a salon, right? The big one, or is that the smaller one? I can't remember. Which are
They're
some of
pretty
my
big.
favorite speakers of all
Yeah.
time.
Salon
He's like,
twos.
huh? Salon twos. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, these Focals just are in a different league. I'm like, well, yeah, they're 38,000 or
Yeah.
50. Another 50,000 a pair. And the center I mean,
Like
and
why would
with
you
the
not
name
want?
stuff running it, but he's so
Yeah.
excited. He's like, oh, it's like Nirvana for him, and he's got the Perlis and subs. And do you see his theater that he's almost his basement theater with all the Focal Utopia in wall stuff and the sub modules across the floor? Did you see that with
Oh yeah,
the
the pro.
screen,
I mean
motorized
the
screen,
oh yeah, yeah,
perforated screen? Yeah, dude,
yeah.
he's got a yeah. But th- I get on these tangents, but I guess the point is that we're all enthusiasts. We talk about
We
movies. I mean, we live for it. I
we're
mean,
listen. I know I'm enthusiast. You are an enthusiast. If we have the opportunity to check out $40,000 pair of speakers that
dude,
we
who
have to send
wouldn't?
back,
Who wouldn't?
why would
Like
you say no?
people out there,
Why
I
would you
feel
say
bad
no?
about listen. Come on, dude. Yeah, what red-blooded American or
Yeah.
European or Asian or whoever wouldn't take the opportunity to do that? Yeah, that's all. Setting up a 300-400 pound a piece pair of speakers, not an easy task, man. Like there's a lot of effort and work that goes into it, wiring it up, hooking it up, dialing it in, trying to move it,
Trying not
where
to
it's
scratch
from.
it.
Trying not,
Yeah.
yeah, trying really hard not to scratch it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's not. It is what it is, man. I mean, dude, wouldn't you guys rather have, maybe not two dorks like us, but somebody guiding you through and trying to say, dude, this rocks, and this is what I like about it, and you know, but
That's what it is, man.
if a
Listen,
manufacturer like Aaron's very critical scientifically of speakers and so is Gene and the Audioholics crew. But Gene's really measures amps like almost nobody does. In fact, manufacturers send him product ahead of time before they release it to independently test it and give and being an audiophile, which is the target market of the product, give them and of course he charges for that as he should because it's a lot of
Yeah.
work and he's got the 100 grand worth of equipment to do it. To say this, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and I know especially with Yamaha over the years and other companies as well, but Gene and now myself, we've got these tremendous relationships with companies. The head guy that runs all of the Yamaha hi-fi side, the chief designer runs the whole thing. And we went out to dinner and had drinks and we're bonsaiing and drinking sake. I mean, we build relationships with manufacturers. So there's a little symbiotic relationship there. But if something's bad, I know the Audiolix crew, I know the Aaron, I know that, a lot of the influencers out there, the guys have been doing it a while. You know, if the manufacturer won't correct it, they're just going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good gear out there, so it makes it really hard to hate on
Yeah.
something. It really does.
Especially when you get to like a certain price point, it's like, what are you gonna really nitpick about? You know what I mean? And like and the funny thing is like when you see like the measurements and stuff like that, when they're measuring like distortion and stuff like that, is beyond audible threshold for dogs. I was like, are we gonna hear that? No, we're not gonna fucking hear that shit, man. And people base their, it's got like 0.00001 distortion. I can't buy it because the other brand has 0.00001 distortion, so it's got to sound better, even though I can't hear it. I
We
mean,
all
stuff
we
like that
all
is like
we all perceive sound. I mean, because we
I
perceive
had a
sound. I think a little different. Some
on
people
the
have better hearing than others too.
not 0.0001. Just you
No,
ain't gonna
not
hear
that. But
that.
I'm
That's
saying
an
in general,
impossibility. Yeah,
in general, I know I've had my hearing tested. I know my limitations. From being a lifelong shooter and competition shooter, and then being in car stereo and a dumb drunk kid playing music too loud. I'm lucky to have hearing still. It's not too bad, but I know the
no,
frequencies that I can go to. I can't really make an evaluation about it because I can't hear it.
what's funny is that I got to a little back and forth with because we did the RBH announcement for the Impression series yesterday,
Mhm.
and they showed off their 12-inch subwoofer with the 12-inch passive radiator,
Mhm.
and it's I think it's a $900 sub, and the gentleman had said that this is a subpar subwoofer because RSL, Stark Sound, and SVS has subwoofers that are better than this for cheaper. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I said, I don't know. You can really say that. I said, I know you can't say that because nobody's heard it yet.
Mhm.
But I can tell you one thing: those subwoofers in that price range are not going to be built better than the RBH sub because I know the RBH is going to be HDF. It's going to be very well braced. Well, the
Yeah,
other
they
ones
got
are
their
going to
own
be
wood
like,
shop, dude.
yeah, the other one's going to be MDF, which is especially the RSL. The RSL subs are listen. They can sound great.
they're
They're very cheaply made
they're big.
subwoofers though,
Well, they're big and
and
they're
very cheaply made.
I'm still dying to hear one. Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to say. I mean, the RBH sub's pretty small, and maybe cabinet size is an issue. It's available, and I know it'll be built really well, like you said. I don't know the difference between HDF and MDF, how much price difference it is, but I know
It's expensive.
the
I know because I've
speakers
been
that
I've been building the theater,
right.
pricing out wood and lumber and OSB and plywood and MDF and HDF. It's expensive.
I
That
know
shit gets
these
expensive.
HDF built speakers on my desk right now that I wrote a review on are built of HDF, and it's like knocking on a brick. I mean, they're completely inert.
Oh damn,
Um,
dude! It's a good thing we brought that up because I was gonna add that in the RBH vid.
were
After
you?
this I got to go reshoot that party.
Yeah, okay,
I gotta
yeah. I
add that
mean,
in
the
there. Yeah,
build quality is exceptional. They may
yeah.
not be sexy, but I mean, they're surround speakers. I mean, for what they do. Um, so who knows? I
But
mean, I haven't
but
heard that
but
sub yet, but I know every
but
RBH sub that I've ever heard was what I would
well,
call a
I
class
think
leader or among the
I think
best.
the moral of the story was he went off some specs and was like, "Oh, the RSL goes down to 16 hertz, whereas the RBH goes down to 29 hertz and plus negative 3 dB." I was like, well, you can't just go off specs because I've reviewed subs that go down, that's claimed to go down to 16 hertz and does go down to 16 hertz, but in listening to it, doesn't sound good doing it. So you can't, just because it goes down to a certain frequency response or it hits a certain frequency response, doesn't mean it sounds good when it's going
All
to
right.
do that frequency.
Other things people probably never take into consideration is build quality, longevity, warranty, and just
Sound quality.
sound quality.
Yeah.
Overall sound quality. I mean,
Yeah.
it's easy just to make a small ported sub or a small sealed and put 3,000 watts on it to get it. But to get one that's musical and sounds right, and Shane used a passive radiator to create a smaller cabinet. Passive radiator is almost like a port, without the chuffing. I've never heard a passive radiator chuff, but some of the best subs I've ever owned were push pull. I mean, similar idea. I don't know, man. I'm sure it sounds great. Again, all the RBH subs that I've heard, they're signature dual 12s that you have those, right? Those are
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
Um, Dude, have you heard many subs that can match those and just absolute speed, accuracy, sound quality, but they dig deep? I mean, I think Gene or the crew at Audiolics measured them to be equal to the output of a single 18, you know,
Mm-hmm.
single sealed 18, not a big giant ported monster on output, but they hammer and they're super
Yeah.
musical and they look
But
cool. They're just
but
beast.
the moral of the story is, listen, don't base your judgment on speakers, subwoofers, based strictly on the manufacturer's
No,
specifications because that don't tell you shit. I don't care who you are, what machine you got. You got to listen to
I
them.
know, but
Just
consumers are just groomed on specs, dude.
yeah.
And first of all, who says the specs are right? It's provided by the manufacturer.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody, we know they never make mistakes. They all don't have anechoic chambers, or they take them outside and put them on a platform and measure them in a field, like James Larson's does. Y- But anyways, I was telling you, going back to what Gene does, I think that's legit, and he works with these manufacturers, and I think Aaron should probably try to go on that angle because he's invested that much money and has some expertise in it. Maybe manufacturers should send Aaron some products prototypes and get his thought on.
I'm sure they.
But
I'm sure
there's
they
guys
do.
do it. I think a lot of people here do a big service to the industry.
Yeah.
Whether it's globally, like Youthman does, and doing all the M wave, which has turned into a big, huge thing, and I'm so happy for those guys. I mean, they work really hard to do that, but I mean, they influence the industry in general, and and highlight certain brands of equipment. Um, a bunch of dudes out there. I know people get mad if I don't mention them, but they're like I met the Cheap Audio man at the Florida Audio Expo. Dude was super cool, man. Like I dug him.
So
I
many,
thought he was
so
he
many
was
name,
right there. Huh?
so many name drops in this stream tonight.
What is that bad?
No,
No,
I'm just saying.
first time I've been sober on here. Man.
Let's talk about. All right, let's listen. Rant over. This is like an hour long rant about getting free shit. We don't get free stuff to review. Maybe other YouTubers do. I don't. I wish I did. I wish Focal would give me some Sopress for free. But I would try to keep them as long as I possibly could. It was like 8 months. I had to give it back. But yeah, no, we don't get free stuff. The
That's
RBH ain't
and
free
that.
stuff.
There's the sadness we go through when that
Yeah.
happens.
It doesn't happen too often because we get a lot of, like, I get a lot of stuff in, and then I'm just like, I'm done with it. Can you come pick it up? Like now?
Have you reviewed any PSB speakers?
Yeah. They got good stuff. It's a mid-range or
I've
mid-range S.
got their their was it not Prodigy, their flagship speaker line.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tower,
I did that. The one with the metal sides. It's got the metal baffle. Metal
metal
baffle.
front, not the
Yeah.
sides. Yeah, it's got a aluminum. Those are really good speakers, dude.
Yeah. I don't know why they put the
Very
tweeter
neutral.
underneath the.
Huh?
I did the bookshelf. They put the tweeter underneath the woofer.
Yeah, well, it's the same way on the towers, though. You know what I
I
mean?
was like, And then they gave me the mini one. I did they have the Alpha series. It was like
Oh yeah, well that's a
woofer
lower price.
tweeter.
You know,
It was
man, that
like
dude, those PSBs, really great speakers, tons of bass, like crazy amount of bass, tunable ports.
all right, all right. Let's talk about movies that we saw. Listen, by the way, super chats are welcome. If you guys want to send in some super chats, I know you guys have some questions. We're not going to scroll all the way back up, but super chats are welcome if you want to ask Donnie some questions, stuff like that. But Godzilla versus Godzilla X Kong. Did you see Godzilla X Kong over the week? That question's for you.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, dude. I
You're
thought
the,
you were
you're the
asking
one,
me through. I already
you're the
told
only
you
one
I
here.
haven't seen. I already told you off camera. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I got to make it sound like I don't know what we talked
No,
about
yeah,
earlier.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
All right,
Some-
so Godzilla versus Kong. Don, did you see Godzilla versus Kong?
yes.
Did you like that movie?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, Godzilla movie. It was cool. Good sound, lots of Atmos. I mean, I watched the whole what Monarch, the series. I watched the whole
Yeah.
thing. So, I'm all into the
Oh, yeah,
Godzilla
I
universe.
forgot about it.
I'm
I
cool
forgot
with it.
about that. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So
you know,
I saw Godzilla X Kong last weekend. I think it was last weekend when it first came. I saw it twice, by the way. And coming from the 2018 or maybe is it 14 now? Godzilla movie. Remember when that first Godzilla movie came out? From Monarch, which I think Monarch is a spin-off of that Godzilla movie.
the King Kong movie too.
It's like before that movie came out, the original 2014.
Because they were showing Skull Island and all that. Anyways,
Yeah, then we go to Skull Island, which
I
I thought
like
was
Skull Island. I thought that
Skull
was
Island is a
really good.
great movie.
Yeah, it's dope.
And then we go to King of the Monsters, which I thought was a great movie as well. And the sound was I think the sound ramped up in King of the Monsters.
Gotcha. They're cool. I mean, I
Both,
saw Godzilla -1. I thought that was really good. Different.
but this Godzilla, the American version right now, is it used to be somewhat grounded. You know, it was a grounded. Then we go to Godzilla vs Kong, which came out during the pandemic, and which was it debuted on HBO Max. I saw it on HBO Max first day. I stayed up all night, 12 midnight, or I think 3 a.m. over here on the East Coast to watch it. And I was watching it. I was expecting King of the Monsters, and I was like, "What the? Are we going to journey to the center of the earth in Godzilla versus Kong?" I was like, "Is Kong carrying an axe with
Did Marvel produce it?
what? Is this a
Make it a
Marvel
girl.
produced
Make
movie?
it gay.
This movie has just gone off the rails. Godzilla versus Kong.
Really?
I was like, "What the
But you
fuck
liked it.
is going on, man?" I mean, it was an okay movie as far as like demo material for home theater. Yeah, it's
There-
fine.
I love going to the movies, but I went and saw Dune Part 2 immediately. In a really cool theater, it had like screens on the side, Screen X.
Yeah, yeah, Screen
You know,
X. Yeah,
Yeah, it was all right. It was just more effects, but
yeah.
I'll go see that. Absolutely. I think movies that seem worthy of a theatrical experience, but some movies I'm just gonna wait and watch on my system, like Godzilla X Kong.
I would have liked to. Well, Godzilla X Kong. I would say yes. Watch at the movie theater though, because I think it was meant to be seen like IMAX, and because they're giant dinosaurs and fucking monkeys. The scope of it, I saw it in IMAX 3D.
Okay.
It's the same stuff as Godzilla versus Kong, just ridiculous because now King Kong has a Hulkbuster glove or a power glove from Nintendo that's giant sized. Just some
Who built that? Like
all of a sudden,
built it in a warehouse.
he gets frostbite on his hand, and then he walks across the globe and under Earth or whatever it's called. All of a sudden, he walks over to the humans, and then right before he reaches the humans, he falls and collapses. And the humans are like, "What is going on with Kong?" One of the humans is like, "He's got frostbite on his hand. Well, let's get him the power glove that we created from the last movie." All of a sudden, there's a helicopter flying in. Meanwhile, in the background, the bad guys are coming. They're closing in on the location of Kong. the Scar King is closing in. He's riding on the back of another frost dinosaur. I don't know what the fuck it's a Shimu or something like that. All of a sudden, the helicopter flies in with the power glove. I'm like, yo, how did you guys get from the power glove to here that quick in the time frame it took the bad guys to come over to Kong? I was like, yo, what the logistics, logistics,
Did they
logistics
cut his arm off?
out the window, man. But okay, I mean, I guess you kind of you
And
know
for
what
another
you're getting
session of
into.
story time with Shane Lee, please tune in, same time, same place next week.
But we would then we get there's some shit that's in there. I mean, God, I forgot who suplexed who. I feel like I think Kong suplexes Godzilla, and then Kong gives him some MMA ground and pound in the Egyptian desert or something like that.
Did you put the
was
people's
like-
elbow on him?
I was like, yo, what is going on in this movie? That's the kind of stuff going on in this movie. It made a lot of money, like $80 million on the weekend or something like that. So apparently people have really taken to what's going on. But on the opposite side, you got Godzilla -1, which came out like a week before.
No, it came out last year.
Godzilla -1 came out a week before.
Before what?
This movie, Godzilla X Kong.
No, it didn't. That just came out.
Godzilla.
Godzilla -1 was out like last September, October, I think.
Okay, listen,
Late,
you
maybe, yeah.
you're drinking. I know you're not drinking, but it feels like you're drinking. But it
I'm
came out
sober.
this year.
Okay.
It came out like a couple weeks ago.
Godzilla -1.
Godzilla -1 with the little
I
girl.
thought like a month and a half ago, dude. 2 months.
Okay, about a month ago. Yeah, it did come out last year.
Anyways, who cares? Who's a shit?
The thing is, they came out within a couple months of each other, like a month of each other. Whereas one is like really grounded, has a really nice emotional beat to it, and then you have this one is just so totally over the top. One is going to be a home theater demo for sure.
Yeah.
One could be an Oscar contender.
Yeah. I think it was not. Never mind.
It-
Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
That's easily.
Godzilla. You gonna find out when it came out?
Yeah.
God damn it, Godzilla -1. 2 hours 5 minutes. 2023. Did it? Oh, it did come out last year.
November 3rd, 2023.
December 1st. Hold on. What
November.
month? What month are we in?
Oh, Japanese theaters on November 3rd. Sorry. December
okay.
1st. Yeah.
December 1st. Okay, US.
I think I saw it in December or January. I saw it.
It came out last year. Okay. It won. Oh, it did. He's right. He's totally right. Movies. He's right. You're right. Okay. You got me. Well, it was in.
Can't argue with me, man.
It was in a short time frame.
The weirdest shit. Trying to look this way to look at you.
Come on, Moviesy. Moviesy, whose side are you on, man?
Whose side are you on, man? Thought we was cool. Oh, so yeah, man, you don't get everything for free, yada yada yada.
Godzilla -1.
So you're Twitter, man. You're doing a cool setup. Man.
Hold
You're
on. Let's
doing-
wrap up the Godzilla thing.
Sorry.
It's coming out. Godzilla X Kong. You missed it. I wish you would have saw it, but staying home, you didn't see it. Monkey Man. I saw Monkey Man today. All right, Don, you won that. You won that dispute. You fucking won the Godzilla dispute.
Right.
Okay, Monkey Man. I saw Monkey Man today at AMC at Dolby Cinemas. I know it came out yesterday. I do know that for a fact because it was the one day ago. It came out on Thursday. It's April 5th today. I know. I went into it thinking, Don, did you see the trailers? Do you even know what Monkey Man is?
Yes. My
Okay.
friend.
So I thought it was going to be like an Indian version of John Wick.
With dancing and song.
No, this is not a Bollywood movie with dancing
Not?
and
Oh,
song.
okay. I thought it was.
It's kind of like a mashup between Jason Bourne, Kill Bill, and John Wick.
Uh,
Maybe just the worst parts of all of those
Nobody
movies.
flew through the air, or
Just the
picked up a
just the
car
worst,
and flipped it.
just the most boring parts of those movies. But no, no, no. It was an okay movie. The action parts were okay. It's kind of a Kill Bill revenge esque movie. It's got a lot of the shaky cam from the Jason Bourne movies.
Hmm.
Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire was in it. Did you see Slumdog Millionaire?
Oh yeah, years ago.
Yeah, so he's like the main
Yeah, he's all grown
protagonist.
up.
So I grown up, worked out a little bit, got some
Hmm.
muscle on him. I think he wanted it to be. I think he wanted to be like John Wick in the movie. I mean, he's got some pretty good moves in the movie. Not gonna lie. I mean, but there was just a lot of build up for the revenge story, and then there's like a political type of thing in it as far as like the Indian development in India going on. We got to experience a little bit of the slums of India in there as well. Just a drug on for like an hour too long. Visually, I thought it was a great looking movie. It's kind of like dark, warm tones, violent during the action scenes, which are not many, by the way. You might think it's going to be John Wick with a lot of action. There is even a John Wick reference in the movie, so they knew what they were kind of borrowing from. So they
Mm.
did say John Wick in the movie.
Did
So
it?
that was a cool. I did fall asleep for a good 10, 15 minutes of it because
No.
maybe
Oh, it was a good movie, but I fell asleep. Come on.
maybe maybe it's
He's
an
like,
India
she's got a
cinema
great body,
thing.
but man, yeah. What?
There's a part in the movie where he is getting chased by the cops. He gets shot in the shoulder or in the leg or something, I don't know. And he falls off into the river. He wakes up in a monastery. I think it's a monastery or a church or something like that. Whatever they do in India, I don't know what they do in India. Apologies to Indian guys. He makes up into like this monastery or something like that in the church. They rescue him. They give him this fucking like we have to save you. Blah 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 blah. They treat him, pull the bullet out. They give him the speech. I don't know if this guy's a transsexual or something like that. And there's a statue of like
What?
a woman, half man thing.
Oh, it's
And then
probably a Hindu god or something. Yeah.
okay, Hindu, and then he's got like nails, and it's a man. It's a little effeminate a little bit. I
Mhm.
was like, okay, I'll buy that, sure. And then apparently they're warriors or something like that. They're
Warrior
killers,
monks.
they're killers in this monastery because it happens in the third act. You find out they're killers, and then I was like, what the? I was like, he's just a random
Oh,
guy that
monks.
fell in your. A random guy that fell into the river, and you guys are treating him like he's a high class assassin or something like that. I was like, "Man, what is going on in this?" And then there's a montage of him healing. You know, when you get rescued by somebody, and you have to heal and you have to work out to get better. Kind of like when Rocky gets knocked out, he has to work out to get better. And there's a montage of him working on the bag. The same thing happens in this movie, but in the background, we got the monastery women that are like cheering him on, and he takes off his shirt, and then they're
All
just
right.
like, ah! I was like, yeah, what is going on in this? And this happens for like 5 minutes. I was like, what does it got to do with the story, man? There's like an hour of all this extra exposition that goes on in Monkey Man that I was like, you guys could have cut this out, made a tighter story. It would have been an awesome movie. But there's just like so much BS. I was just like, man, I was so amped up to see Dev Patel be John Wick, but it just wasn't it. Uh, would I pay to go see it? No. If you have AMC A list, you can go see it in your membership. Maybe okay, but yeah, definitely wait for it to hit Hulu or Netflix or something like that. I wouldn't pay to go see it personally. There
Have
were
you
some cool fight scenes though. I will say that.
have you seen that series Shogun on Hulu?
Yo, listen, I did fall asleep on John Wick 4 because John Wick in John Wick 4 and 3, it's pretty much 80% of him killing people for the entire movie. I mean,
You say
how
that like
exciting
it's
is
a bad
that?
thing.
How
I mean,
exciting is that?
we need romance and intrigue. It's just kill motherfucker. You know, like I'm like that's a bad dude. But Shogun, if you guys haven't seen that, it's amazing. They did Like a
Oh, I've been hearing it. It's really good. Did you see
it's
it? Have you been watching
really,
it?
really good. Killer
While
acting,
while you
great
do that,
story.
you
Hmm?
talk about Shogun. I'm gonna go release the dragon for a minute.
Oh, great. What's up, everybody? Any questions? Anybody interested in opinion? See, somebody said early up there, let me look, about how to calibrate a room. Somebody asked, I think, how long does it take for a professional to calibrate a room? I mean, that's a good question. I literally been in gigantic projects, which took a day and a solid half day after that. And sometimes they take a couple of tweaks on them after you listen to them for a while. Sometimes a really good calibrator in a decent room with good equipment, good dynamic speakers that have good directivity. It can go relatively quick, couple out 3 hours maybe. Is there drive time? Is there not? More often than not, people are doing calibrations remotely. I know that Matthew Pose, that I work with all the time, great friend of mine, super genius. If you ever want something calibrated, I highly recommend it, especially if you hire in products like Trinov and Storm Audios and whatnot. Guy's super good, but it takes it takes a few hours at the minimum. It's not like just plugging a mic in and testing and listening. And really good calibrators will, you know, ask you to play things and say, hey, what do you think? You know, well, can you turn the surrounds up a little bit? I mean, it's all individual taste. Get the room calibrated, then dial the little bitty tweaks in to make it like you like it. That's what I always tell people. Just if you're not crazy about it when it's correctly calibrated, then bump a couple things up, maybe turn a couple things down, whatever, whatever
What's
you
this got?
dig, man.
What's this got to do with Shogun?
No, somebody asked a question: how long does it take a professional to calibrate a room?
Now we only answer in super chats.
What am I supposed to do? Sing a song while you're taking a piss?
I thought you were talking about super. I thought you were talking about
I mean, if
Shogun.
I had something prepared to talk about,
You were talking about Shogun. What's going on with Shogun?
Shogun's just a killer show, man. The cinematography is great. The costuming is on point. It's really cool. It's good TV. It's worth the effort. So you know what I've been watching, man.
That's your breakdown of Shogun. You're not convincing me to go watch Shogun.
Imagine a world in the 1700s, Imperial Japan, the feudal system. Come on, dude. I just was mentioning it.
I just gave a good review of Godzilla vs Kong and Monkey Man,
You're
and
like,
you're just like, it's a good
it's like getting,
show.
it's like getting a review from a dude that just took two bong hits across from me. He's like, yeah, dude, like they get a monkey man, and dude, the monkey does like the fucking dig on the Godzilla, and he comes up with nunchucks, bro. I mean, come on,
That
you
doesn't
call
make
that
sense.
that ain't no Siskel Ebert.
I thought it makes sense, dude.
We give Dirty Harry the finger. Remember that
Let's
every
talk about. All
week.
right, let's go. All right, so movie reviews over. TV show reviews over. Oh, hold on. I have been watching X-Men 97 on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I couldn't get
Have-
past the first episode.
What?
Yeah,
This
I
show's
get
great, man.
let it play out a little bit.
X-Men 97 is great. I love this show.
I want to pour a big bowl of cereal like I'm watching it at 3:30 when I go home from school. It's that kind of, I guess 97. It's that kind of animation.
No. The animation in X-Men 97 is better than what it was in 97. It's
Okay.
the same kind of style, but it's updated to look a little bit more look a little flashier. The cinematics in it from the camera angles in the cartoon looks more modern day. The action is better. I've been watching it on the iPad because I don't have the home theater set up, but story picks up right after, spoiler alert, Xavier dies back in 97. If you missed it from like 30 years ago, I don't know what to tell you. He dies back in the original cartoon some 29 years ago or something like that. This picks up right after it. What is life like after Xavier dies? And then like Jean Grey's pregnant. Scott, aka Cyclops, They're kind of handling the school. People a little bit older. Jubilee's a little bit older. Rogue sounds like a 65-year-old woman because now it's 30 years later, so her voice is aged. They got the original voice actors from the people who are still alive. Action is super cool. We got Magneto is back. He's taking over the school because Xavier's left Magneto the school. He's got the new Magneto uniform on with the gigantic M. I think it's a great show so far. I'm only 3 episodes in. I think maybe I don't know if the fourth one is out yet, but man, it's a good. I didn't think I was gonna like it because usually I don't like cartoons, but I was just like I've been hearing a lot of good reviews. I would say watch it. They're like 30 minutes long. It's a quick watch. Disney Plus, 5.1 Dolby Digital, I think. It's a good stuff, man. If you were in high school back in the when it first appeared, back in like 94, 5, 6, 7, picks up right after it. Just everything is a little amped up a little bit. It looks better. Colors are better. It's not as grainy like it was back in 4:3 aspect ratio. Everything's tighter looking, cleaner looking, obviously. Check it out, man. X-Men 97.
Check it. Check it.
Do it.
I watched the Bad Batch on Disney, the animated show. That's pretty good. I'm a big Star Wars nerd. No, I'm saying.
Is that your review?
I'm giving it a review.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you don't drink for 3 weeks. You have nothing to say. You're like, yo, I watched this movie. It was good.
Right after the fall of the Republic, 5 clone troopers that had a little dinkle in their DNA, they weren't quite right. They set out on a series of adventures to fight the newly growing empire. Tune in every Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
That was a good little dingle in their DNA.
Okay. Theater build. Gene sending me pictures of his food.
Eats well.
What are you thinking about my theater build so far? I sent you some pictures.
I think it's you're in the right direction, man. I think putting LED lighting in there, you're making smart decisions. You're trying to really address, the room itself, sound mitigation a little bit. I know you can crank it, but you're trying to build the room solid so you don't get the shake, rattle, and roll that you get when you're going to put 2 dual 12s and a 21 in there. I think, since you have the Trenov, you're capitalizing on that. You got your 3 LCRs, front wides, 2 pair of side surrounds, 3 rears, including a rear center, which you can do with the Trenov, and 6 on box speakers angled on the ceiling attached to wood. So they're going to have solid mounts. That's a lot of speakers, man.
Speaking of which,
14 wide by 25 deep, but you're going to lose a little space when you build your balfoil and whatnot. But it's 2 rows of seating. It's cool. Or you can do 3.
Let me share the screenshot. Or sorry, not the screenshot. Let me share the image here. Did I show you this yet? I'm pretty sure I showed this to you, right? I mounted the height speaker today.
You what? Melted them?
Mounted it.
Mounted them. They said melted them. How did you do that?
Oh, this is weird. Share screen. Plus, hold on. What is this all about? So I mounted one of the 661s on the ceiling. I feel a little bad because I didn't edit the RBH video yet. And I told Shane and Kenny I was going to do it today. And I can't. Damn, they must have changed this. You used to be able to share slideshows on.
Go StreamYard, dude.
What's the change? StreamYard sucks. I used it yesterday. It's worse. It sucks. Oh, here we go. Let me just open. Oh, here we go. There we go. I did something wrong here. So I mounted the height channels. PXL. Let me share that. Let me share
Let's
this.
get on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, let me share this with the crew. Can I share that with the crew? Boom! Look at that. So this is that's not a small speaker, by the way, guys. This is the RBH 661. Can you see my pointer on the screen or no? No, you can't see the pointer on the screen. So this is what we got
That's your
going
front
on.
wide?
That's the well.
Oh,
So that's an Ascendo 6 as front wide, which is temporarily placed there just so I can check, make sure my cables were connected properly and all that stuff. That's an Ascendo 10 on the left side of the screen behind the little 1-inch foam, which I'm going to replace with some OC703. I took that I put that up there mainly for some Instagram photos because you get the checkerboard pattern, it looks cool in Instagram photos.
Yeah, the room's not finished off, guys, just so you
No,
know
no.
too. So it's still
Yeah.
under under construction, but getting on the close to the nitty gritty.
Yeah. So all this shit in the corner there. I mean, so that gap between that fabric panel and the screen and the wall, that's going to be a false wall right there. So that's like a 2 foot space. There's going to be a false wall there. So there's going to be 2 feet between that wall and then the edge of the panel. And then I put some 2x6s up top there, which I can screw in different speakers if I want to do different Atmos speakers, stuff like that. I can mount different mounts up there, and so I put the 661 up there with a mount that you can buy on Amazon. So if you guys want to mount ceiling speakers on your ceiling, that's actually a television mount meant for like 13 to like 32-inch TVs up to 44 pounds. That speaker is 22 pounds, 21 pounds, I think, actually. So you can actually angle that. You can fold it up close to the ceiling or you can angle it towards. So I've got it angled towards the center of the room so that way it hits not only the outside the wing seats, but also the center seat as well, and also the back row. But I put that up today, so I think that's going to be pretty cool sounding. The paint job, yes, that paint job in the corners, you're not going to see that because the false wall is going to be there, of course.
Right. No, that's
And
right.
then all the other stuff you're not going to see either because it's going to be behind fabric. So technically, I didn't have to paint anything because it's going to be behind fabric, but just for my minor OCD, I wanted it to be black while I was walking around in there. Which, by the way, paint is not cheap nowadays, especially for black.
Nothing's cheap, man.
Especially if you're not going to even see it. I don't know why I spent a couple $100 on paint that I'm just going to cover up with fabric. But that's the high channel. So there's going to be 6 of those up top. That's the front. That's the front row speakers, the top fronts, and then I've got more. I got the other row that's going to be sitting right above the main seats, well, the front seats, and then the back row is going to be slightly behind the second row of seats.
But still off the wall quite a bit.
Yeah. So the spacing between the front and the back wall is pretty much the same as what's in that photo there.
Yeah, which is super cool. Not, people will stack seats. I mean, sometimes you have to right up against the wall, but if you can have
Yeah.
that buffer zone, that's always,
No,
I
so
think should be better.
I think I got like 4 feet between the second row and the back wall.
Yeah. It's going to be great, man. What color chairs are you getting?
So I told Valencia that I was going to do a little comparison with the Barcelona seats, which is that gray color, which I'm not happy about. I didn't like. I don't. I didn't. I love the Barcelona seats, by the way.
Well, I don't. I
I
can't
just
remember the
don't.
ones Matt Pose got for his theater. But those are pretty dope,
Yeah,
man. They're really
he
cool.
got he got the
Very
little.
contemporary.
Yeah, but I don't think they. It's got the glossy arms and all that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah.
but it kind of goes with his room. It's very classy, I think.
That's going to become
And the
a
build
fucking.
quality seemed to be a little above what I've experienced on other Valencia seats too.
It's going to be like
The
super
leather,
scratched up though.
huh?
And that armrest is going to be like scratched to hell if it's not already.
I mean,
Yeah.
the theaters are, and he's got kids. I mean,
Yep.
that's why I tell people when you buy theater chairs, you get what you pay for, and
Hmm.
they get torn up if you got a family and use it all the time. Like there's a reason some chairs cost $3,000 and $4,000 a chair. You know,
I got people don't. I don't know why people didn't watch the video, but I did the review for the salamander seats.
they're killer.
The leather, the
They're
leather on that.
they're really salamander, dude. Have you used any of their cabinets before? In my main
Yeah,
system, I got a big wide salamander cabinet, and that thing they're built for AV. They got metal frames,
John is
and just
don't tell that to John Sandoval. He's not a fan of salamander stuff.
I don't know why. You got me, man. Dude,
Yeah, I got
I've
that.
sold them for years and experienced 50 of them at least in different jobs and installations, and I've owned two. This is my second one, and they're built for a lifetime. I mean, unless you got too much gear, you
Well,
got to
the
sell.
unless you're like I don't want to say a leather connoisseur, or unless you're like maybe a fashion kind of person,
Hmm?
but the leather on the salamander seats compared to any of the Valencia seats that I've reviewed,
Hmm?
it's a couple grades above that. I mean,
Well, it was
as good as you.
exponentially more expensive too.
Yeah,
The Salamander is a much more expensive product.
yeah.
So, I mean, I
It,
would put
it's
them. I mean, you can get different leathers and finish, in any seat. But when you get up to like a Cinematech or an Elite seating, row one's really good. I mean, but you can spend 8, 9, 10, 12, $15,000 a seat, depending
yeah,
on how crazy you want to go.
yeah. The salamanders I got, I think they're like 3,800 each. That and to be honest with you, they're not very comfortable. They're just not.
What's that?
At least the ones that I picked.
Which ones?
Um, I got the Talia ones, the salamander Talias.
Okay.
Let me see if I can bring it up. I mean,
Say
they
they're not
look
comfortable. You
super
say they're
cool.
not comfortable.
Not for the long duration, no. I mean, maybe if you're a healthy person and you got good back, you got a good back,
Why'd you pick them then? Because they look cool.
because they look fucking super cool. But
I'm sure that
I
I'm
also
sure they'll
didn't
be
sit
fine.
in I also didn't sit in them for 2 hours
Yeah,
when I
I mean,
when I picked them.
where'd you pick them at?
I got them through one of my channel partners.
No, oh, you didn't go sit in it.
No, I sat in them before for
Where?
like a little bit when I was dealing with Value Electronics. I sat in them.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Okay.
oh, these are cool, man.
Yeah,
I was like,
they're a really good seat, man. You know.
so this is the seat here. Let me share that screen with you. So these are the ones I bought, the ones in the corner. Come on, those are cool looking seats. Obviously,
The ones on the right,
I didn't get them in brown.
the bigger picture on the top right.
Hold on, oh, look at that's me right there. Talia luxury home theater audiophile seats.
Oh, okay.
Damn, I even got
All
thumbnail
right.
up there.
Okay. All
I need
right.
to change. I need to change that thumbnail. But dude, those are they're
Those are dope.
yeah,
They look
they're
super comfy.
awesome, but they're not though, because this they kind of curve in. I don't know if you can tell, but it curves in a little bit. So you don't get that lumbar support, which is adjustable in the Valencias. So you can in the Valencia seats you can push out the bottom half of your back
Hmm.
instead of like sitting in there and just like being like
Are
your
they
back is
evil
curved inwards.
theater chairs?
What's that?
Are they evil theater chairs?
They look like they could be.
Well,
But
cool,
they're
man.
cool seats though. The leather on that you can tell like a really awesome quality leather versus a not so awesome leather seat. I don't know. If you're a leather guy, you know what I'm
What
talking
color do you
about.
get them in? Like gray, dark gray, or
I got him in black.
black?
Black man. Come on, man, black.
I'm like, you need to not do everything in black. He's like, well, I got the really dark gray going. I'm
It
like,
was coming
might
in
as well
Monday,
be
by the way.
black.
It's coming in
What?
Monday, by the way. It's coming in Monday. The fabric's coming in Monday. It's micro suede.
Micro suede.
But
Made for boys.
a good leather will grow a patina to it because the more you sit in it, the cooler it looks because you'll get wrinkles. It'll fade a
Patina.
little bit. The Valencia seats will not do that because it's more of a process type of leather.
Hmm.
The Salamander ones is legit like full grain leather. It's It's a better quality. I wish Valencia had seats with the leather quality of the Salamander, but they just don't though.
Yeah. Cool.
But you get what you pay for, as they say.
Can my girlfriend's gonna
Yeah.
kill me. I do
Me
stop.
too.
Oh,
Oh, okay, there we go.
you
Okay.
too?
Uh,
Love you,
Kellen's
Dad.
here.
You're real.
Okay, so is Monkey Man worth to go see or not? Haha. Come on, Kellen, you just missed the part where I gave the full review, man.
My boy
If you
Kellen.
like, as it's an okay movie. I wouldn't pay to go see it, but I personally wouldn't pay to go see it.
Kellen's been putting together some cool systems, man. I not at liberty to discuss, but some like world class heavy hitter
They got a full video, man. He put the per listens in there.
and he's redoing his personal theater with all per listen, man. That's gonna be pretty dope. I love the theater. Breaks my heart he's changing it because it was so just badass when I got to sit in it and do demos and do the
Yeah,
D box chair. And,
what a weird choice going from the Utopias to the per listens.
I
Is it
mean,
better?
dude,
Do
he's
you
a
think it's
doer.
better? Have you heard it?
I, dude, he's an enthusiast too, but it's a business.
Oh, come on, but Kellen, it hasn't even been in there for
Dude,
like.
they love Focal, and I don't
I
think
know
it's
they
a.
love
I don't
Focal.
think I think it's maybe I love both of those speakers. They're both great. I
I
mean,
tell you what. I feel like the Utopias were a few years prior to the Sopras. I think they changed the tweeters from between the Sopras and the Utopias,
the
and
Utopia. You mean the architectural in wall utopias?
just the Utopia in general. The
Oh,
tweeters
okay.
in the Utopias, yeah,
It's a different tweeter than in the Sopra.
yeah. I feel like the Sopra has a better tweeter.
It doesn't. If you've ever spent some,
I reviewed the Utopias.
I
I've had
know
them in the
you did
house.
the bookshelves, but how long did you have them?
Like 6 months.
Oh, did you have them that long? Okay.
Yeah, man.
You told me you liked the Sopra better,
Yeah.
so I've just heard the Utopia sound just amazing. You know what I mean?
At least for the bookshelves. I mean, I think because I did the Diablo bookshelves and I did the
Mhm.
Soper bookshelves. I thought the Soper bookshelves were better sounding. I don't think the Utopia Diablos had any bass at all. Like they just.
Really? Wow. Isn't that
I mean, there's an
crazy?
okay bass, but it wasn't just like I don't know. I didn't like wow me.
Ten, $15,000 different or $14,000 different?
No, no, no. The
I don't know.
Sopers were
I've
just
heard the
like
Utopias, man, several times, and the
no.
right amps and the right rooms, man. Those things just are mind-boggling. But, I don't know how much bigger the Utopia Diablos are than Sopras, but they I've heard them jam before, dude. I've heard them throw down.
I'm sure they do. I appreciate good leathers. I like good leather. Listen, I got like a dozen leather jackets. Nancy gets mad at me because I have so many so many leather jackets. Um,
Like you like Fonzie, eh?
just like Fonzie.
Wow.
And I have the only seat that has the same quality leather as my leather jackets is Salamander. And I think there's another brand at the
Dude,
show at Audio Advice.
Elite seating
Yeah.
and Cinematex, their German-made ones, dude,
Yeah.
are dope. Like
Yeah.
you sit one of those, you're like it's like sitting in a Maybach or a Bentley or something. It's just like it oozes quality and craftsmanship. But you're 5, 6, 7, 10. Sky's the limit. You can get like fine Peruvian leather, or ostrich skin or whatever they exotic leathers, really high grades. You can spend some serious money on leather.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, a lot of this stuff like Valencia makes and stuff like that. It's like you get the leather, but it's like imprinted. You get the imprinted leather texture on it, which is not like the
They're
natural
made from
leather
Chinese
texture.
cows,
Yeah.
right? I got a jet, dude.
Oh, hold on a second. Lee, do you hang with the rockabilly people at all? Don, answer that question.
Rockabilly. Um,
Is that not you?
I mean, I know a couple of chicks on Facebook I'm friends with to do the whole rockabilly kind of, but no, I don't really. Not my scene. It's cool, you know.
Oh, is that a thing? I have
Yeah,
no idea.
rockabilly, man.
What is that? What is rockabilly?
Just a music kind of style and maybe amped up, big band kind of music, but like, what's that genre, man? The name escapes me, but where they take singers and standards, classical songs, and or take modern songs and sing them in that style. That one girl that won American Idol is a big singer in it. It's good. Listen, I listen to everything, man. All kinds of different stuff, as long as it's well recorded, man. So, yeah, the chicks look good. They get all
Oh,
tattooed up and dresses,
okay.
like pin-up girl. You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. We're gonna sign off. Don's got to go hang out with his wifey. Check out the video. I got an RBH video coming out probably later tonight. What time is it? 11 o'clock, maybe tonight or early tomorrow morning.
Text me if you put it
RBH.